Baba, please be with us and give us pleasure of your darshan, company, and love, and guide us. Thank you. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Dharma till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Loving Jai Baba to all. Slave of love. A life with Meher Baba of Dr. Donkin. Wonderful life, so full of love. Acha, okay. No problem, no? If we start 2 minutes only, no
Okay,
problem
we'll
anymore.
start.
Yeah. So here we go.
Here we go.
It's so wonderful. And tomorrow we will have a special meeting, online meeting, because there was a gathering at Nauranga Hamirpur. You might have heard about it. It's such a love feast, full of love, energy, enthusiasm, happiness,
Yeah.
perfect arrangements. It was a huge crowd, and so many went there, and they are telling all about Baba's love and how they experience and how happy they are.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Sushma ji, Jai
Very
Baba.
well.
What was it? An anniversary meeting? What was the occasion?
Yeah. Every year they held on the dates, Baba visited that area.
Oh.
They are really poor people, but they are so rich.
Mhm.
Baba has made them rich with his love. So much dedication that not a single house is there which do not love or dedicate or worship Baba.
That's
And
right.
such
In 1952 and 1954, it is said that 25% of the total population of the district of Hamirpur had Baba's physical darshan. Fathom that for a second. 1 out of every 4 individuals who lived in the district of Hamirpur physically had Avatar Meher Baba's darshan. And of course, in 52, he hadn't yet declared. He declared at outside the village of Meherwa Maristana on the little hill we now call Maristana at 1:05 a.m. on February 10th of 1954. So where was this year's Mela held? Was it in Naranga?
Yeah. Every year it is going on since 12 days. Yesterday was the
Oh
last day.
my.
And
Ah,
Nauranga, it was 3-4 days. There are places, they call it Char Dham, 4-5 places like Hamirpur, Nauranga, Ichora, and Urai, and
yes. And
Mehrastana. And
yeah,
Baba has been to so many places there, even small villages, interiors. And really, if even now anyone goes and just shout Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, they all will gather and they also will join in. It's incredible.
Naranga is it's difficult to put into words what it's like at Meher Dham and going around from different houses singing Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai and
Wow.
doing one version or another of Arti, going from one house to the next to the next to the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, exactly. That Julus, what they call the procession, it
Yes.
lasted for 6 hours, 7 hours this time. from morning, in the noon, from 1 to night 7 o'clock, it was going on. And they said they never felt any tiredness. Even the old woman of my age, they were dancing, singing, and never felt any tiredness. And they felt Baba's presence so strongly, as Baba says that Hamipur, his heart.
Yes.
Even people from Bombay, Ahmednagar, Meherabad, and so many from Andhra. Andhra also went there, which Baba calls his head. So I said, head has gone to heart. Yeah. So we'll start our reading.
All right. Here now,
Yeah.
sure.
Page 73, War Years, Indian Medical Service. As we see, Dr. Donkin immediately joined Baba after his studies. And now we'll see how, even though he was doing his duty, how Baba was longing to meet him is a wonderful thing that we'll read today. So, to say that William had a strong love for Meher Baba at this time would be accurate. One also gets a sense that no matter how lofty William's description of Baba and events surrounding him, one had to be there and live the life to fully absorb the experience. Baba's expectation that William would drive the bus on
Oh.
I think she froze.
On a must hunting trip to Quetta was short circuited when the 29-year-old Brit was told to report for military service at Pune on March 1st,
the
1941.
must on hunting from Bangalore, where he had been. Yeah, sorry.
Uh.
Yeah. Oh, your internet connection is unstable.
Yeah. We missed, I read a little.
I say. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
start with
So,
William's diary. Could you start there? I think I read a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to finish, or shall I finish? You could start with William's diary suddenly became dormant.
Okay.
Yeah.
William's diary suddenly became dormant. His next entry on May 19 was written from Bangalore, where he had been stationed administering to the needs of Italian prisoners of war, POWs, in the 160-bed hospital there. There is a footnote for POWs. I'll read that and then we'll move ahead. By 1945, there were about 1 lakh Italian POW means prisoners of wars in India, spread over 28 locations. The British chose to incarcerate them in India rather than transport them to England. While with the Indian Medical Service, IMS, during the World War II, William served as a doctor at hospital in Bangalore and Secunderabad. He spoke 13 languages, and because he knew Italian, one of his medical duties was to treat the Italian prisoners of war in the Bangalore hospital. During the war years, William served in Pune as well as Secunderabad in Bangalore. William was able to visit Baba many times while on military leave from his medical studies. Okay, there is a footnote for Secunderabad. We'll read that. Secunderabad is just north of its twin city Hyderabad in Andhra state. Its people follow a mixture of religions and it is home to many famous temples and churches. While his clothes proximity,
I'm sorry. I can't get him.
to Baba,
Yeah.
practical matters was enormous. Yeah, there is a photograph. Yes, yes, you can
Yeah.
show that. I'll read it.
Yeah.
A nice photograph of Dr. William Donkin, a young boy of hardly 28 or 29, I think his age at that time. William served as a doctor in the Indian Medical Service during World War II. He spoke a dozen languages. Because of his command of Italian, he was stationed for a period in the hospital in Bangalore that treated wounded in Italian POWs or prisoners of war, right? Prisoners
Yeah.
of war. In short, he had contacts everywhere. Many in important authoritative positions. Baba also explained that he does his work through his close ones. So, no doubt, William was also contributing toward this in some unknown way. This was very important. While William served in the hospital at Bangalore, on occasion, Mandali members would also pass through the city and bring messages from Baba to William. Ironically, the Mastashram that Baba set up in Bangalore shortly after William's 1939 arrival in India had been gradually phased out and moved on a smaller scale to Meherabad. It was closed completely in the autumn of 1940. 6 years would pass before Baba established another Masta ashram in Mahabaleshwar in 1946. During that period, he still continued his must haunting tours. Baba's habit of initiating constant, ever changing activity did not let up during the war. Page 75. In May 1941, Baba instructed Adi Senior, who was later to be his long-time secretary, to visit Upasni Maharaj, the perfect master with whom Baba had lived for many years. Adi will overcome meeting Upasni, weeping a lot. Upasni said that suffering with a master brings spiritual fruit. He also said he was like a husk, all empty and lifeless, and his spirituality had been given to Baba. William complained in his diary that he did not like this army job at all. Too much red tape and all. However, he said that his Italian had improved as a result of working with the POWs, that is, um, that
Prisoners
is
of war.
prisoners of war in the hospital. Sorry. 4 months passed from William's entry into the IMS Indian Medical Services before he saw Baba again. He was granted leave from Bangalore in late July 1941. Ghani, Eraj, and I went off to Ahmednagar, leaving here on Sunday morning, reaching Nagar on Monday morning. There is a footnote for Ghani. Dr. Abdul Ghani Munsif was a school friend of Meher Baba and one of his early Mandali. Ghani enjoyed a unique relationship with Baba because of their long and close friendship. As soon as we got to Meherabad and had a bit of breakfast, Baba called me up the hill. It was good to see Baba after so long. A couple of hours with him after 4 months' absence is a real treat. William's military leave at Meherabad coincided with a meeting of the Mandali with Baba, who outlined his upcoming 6 months seclusion. It was to be in two parts. The first and strictest was to start August 1st and run 2.5 months to mid-October at Meherabad. During this time only, one monthly, Vishnu would see Baba. Vishnu would receive orders to convey to other mandali. The second part of the seclusion would be carried out at Panchgani, another of Baba's favorite haunts. This was a very strict seclusion which Baba did before his third blue bus tour, and it was done. Baba was in a cage room. The cage room was just behind the samadhi. We see the structure, which was basically opened as a maternity hospital by Baba. Later, it worked at Bad and Mast Ashram. Even it was in operation as a veterinary hospital. Then it was like a Mast Ashram. There, Baba had made this cage room for Chatti Baba and Karim Baba. And Baba was staying in a so strict seclusion. Only 3 people were allowed to see Baba at that time. Out of them, one was Vishnu Master, who was looking after the correspondence with the West and all that. He used to bring those letters to Baba. So this is that period. And Dr. King spent that time with Baba. Baba's periods of seclusion were strict, involving only one watchman to ensure Baba was not disturbed. That was Krishna Nair. Baba also delivered a discourse to the Mandali during this meeting. I'm so sorry. Should be. I'm extremely sorry. I don't know how, even though it is on aeroplane mode, why it is. Always, please give me the tasa. Please. I don't know. It is on aeroplane mode. How it rang from, I don't know. I'm sorry, Jai Baba. Baba also delivered the discourse to the Mandali during this meeting. William conveys the gist of the message in the diary. Behind all our actions in egoism, mind, emotions, etc., behind Baba's actions in the infinite truth, both actions outwardly appear the same: eating, sleeping, getting angry, etc. But there is this great difference of God behind Baba's actions and egoism behind ours. So very important. Baba assigned William several minor duties while he was on leave. He was also reminded to write 2 letters to Baba before August 1st. On leaving Baba, after his leave ended, William wrote, Adi, Erich, I left Meherabad on Monday night. Gani went on to Pune, and I got back to Bangalore this morning, feeling rather depressed, but it's been wonderful seeing Baba anyhow. Another 4 months passed before William would again turn to his diary. The entry came after he heard that Baba was to stop in Bangalore after visiting the Mast Chatti Baba. Other Mandali were called from communities close to Bangalore for Baba's visit. You hear me?
Yes. Yes.
And Baba delivered extensive discourses to those gathered. Baba spoke of darkness and light. That is the topic of the book In God's Hand, darkness and light, where he asked the group, did darkness go when light appeared? Light was knowledge, which made all things appear clear in the consciousness. Darkness was ignorance, wrote William. Baba also gave those assembled a detailed description of the 7 planes that human passed through on their involution to God realization and the period of darkness that appears on the fourth plane of this journey. In his November 18, 1941 diary entry, William conveys Baba's message further. Spiritually, darkness is fourth plane, and all others, when they speak of darkness, mean this fourth plane. Baba then explained the journey to God on the planes. The first three steps are the first three planes, which lead us up to the house of God. The fourth plane is the threshold of the house of God, and it is in complete darkness. Here we are very easily misled, and if we fell, we tumble back down the three steps of the three planes and how to start up again. Baba went on to say that if we are able to cross the threshold and make that transition under the safe guidance of a spiritual master, then we suddenly reach light and the fifth plane when one actually feels God. We are on page number 77. Then we go further into the house of God and see God into the sixth plane, and then we go up to God and become one with Him on the seventh plane, that is God realization. William points out that Baba said all individuals are in reality God, but their levels of consciousness are not high enough to realize this. When a man is realized, his consciousness is that he is God. And when he returns, if he has to, for duty, into bracket, and this is the highest spiritual state, his bliss remains the same always, and so his consciousness of God. But his sufferings increases as he descends. One aspect that Baba is describing himself in this paragraph. His role as the avatar meant that he had written in
He had returned in response to his duty to mankind. His mention of suffering increasing as he descended no doubt referred to the experience coming from the perfect Master Babajan in a God-realized state to be brought down over a 7-year period by another perfect Master, Upasni Maharaj. You see where we are, Meherkrupa? You are muted. You're muted, Meherkrupa.
Jai Baba. Please continue. If you have time, 2-3 pages, you continue.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Baba would make a number of predictions about breaking his silence over the years. He vowed to speak the word of words that would have a profound effect on mankind, particularly on those who were at the right stage spiritually to receive the word. Again in 1941, Baba said he had already begun to speak to himself alone, and this would increase. Baba said he will never tell us when he is to speak. Does an earthquake announce its coming? He said. Nor would he announce his date of speaking, wrote William. But when he spoke, all would feel it, some a lot, some a little. People would know Christ had come by feeling something really had happened. Although many of Baba's followers were already accepting him as the avatar or personification of God, Baba himself would not formally announce this until February 1954 in Meherkrupa, a small village in the Hamirpur district, when he was nearly 60 years old. The despair that gripped much of the world in the 40s continued to make Baba's message ring true for the small hodgepodge of people from various countries around the world who were his followers. Let's see, let's go this way now. Sorry, whoops.
Page number 78. Yeah.
Before he would finally speak, he said, "Hate and destruction will grow and spread till all is chaos." After he spoke, he said hate would be all gone, and there would be understanding and love in a world of friendly nations. In the meantime, Baba continued to work his magic on his followers. Baba flattered me a lot. It's like a deep drink of celestial wine to see Baba. He gives so much in these wonderful meetings, William wrote at the time. On Boxing Day 1941, those in the ashram learned that the perfect master Upasni Maharaj had died on December 24th. So what? Baba has always said that when Upasni dies, he comes into his full power, wrote William in his diary on Boxing Day. In a letter on May 26, 1942, William wrote to Baba from St. Martha's Hospital in Bangalore that he was very interested in the fracture work he was doing in treating the Italian POWs, prisoners of war. In a July 5th letter, Adi Sr. wrote to William, "Baba keeps kicking me about from place to place like a ball gathering no moss. If I could steady myself for a minute, even in the rolling, I shall be informing you of Baba's teasing and pranks with the mandali." Let's see. I don't read those notes, I don't think. A full 8 months would pass before William turned to his diary in August 1942, again marking another personal meeting with Baba. Taking leave from his medical work at the Bangalore hospital, William was able to join Baba and the mandali at Dehradun in northern India. Apparently, this generous leave was made possible through Baba, who had sent a telegram to someone on William's behalf. Baba told William at the time that the world was going to turn chaotic, and that Germany and Japan would advance toward India. Baba also told me to smoke only 1 cigar daily, not more. Baba is looking very fit indeed, active and in a good mood. I am to stay here, Dehradun, 10 days, and in Meherabad 4 days, and visit Hardwar, Rishikesh, and Mussoorie while here. Enjoying his leave, William began making more frequent entries in his diary. Baba talks about the war and the India situation. He agrees that nonviolence is good and that India must be free. Okay, sorry.
Very important remark then on page number 79.
Um, But he says the inconsistency of Gandhi and others is confusing and misleading and will lead to chaos, William wrote on August 9th, 1942. But Baba appeared to be in good spirits in Dehradun, calling everyone by odd nicknames. Donkin was mysteriously dubbed the son of an ostrich.
Because he was very tall
Did
and
he have
very long legs. He had a very Very, very long legs. So Baba's names for some. Hmm.
Baba was also hinting at the time that within 2.5 months William would be free of his military service and be with him and working for him. How, he doesn't say, so we shall see. Although I am very skeptical about Baba's promises, I naturally live in hope, wrote William. William appears to have joined this leave and even had a good gossip with Kitty Davy, Margaret Crask, and Ron O'Galey, three of the Western women who were also staying in Dehradun. By August 21st, William had traveled south to Nasik and Meherabad, where he was waiting to return to his military doctor post in Mangalore the next day. William wrote very little about his work with the Italian POWs in the Bangalore hospital, or what he did in his off time during his many months away from Meher Baba. However, during his off-duty times in Bangalore, he was involved in Baba-related chores. He took on the job of getting enlarged photographs of Meher Baba made and also made visits to the Biramangala spiritual center on the occasion to carry out work. William told Baba in a September 1942 letter that he had been promoted to captain and that his retroactive pay for the new rank would date back to November 1941. On October 14 letter he writes to Will and Mary Beckett in
Well, one second.
yeah.
Something is, I'll just take over because
Okay.
one paragraph is not there. That
Oh.
Baba was often thinking William, I don't know how, but whether I hear something missing or there, I don't know.
Hmm.
William told Baba in September 1942. No? Yeah, you just read this, no? William told Baba.
Yes. Yes.
And after that, in October, it is there, and October 14 letter, he writes to Bill and Beckett. I don't see much of Baba these days. One sec. And then, oh, uh, so one sec. Huh? On October 14 later, he writes to Bill and Mary Beckett in England, echoes his yearnings to be with Baba. I don't see much of Baba these days, except whenever I can get leave every few months. And I was in Dehradun for 3 weeks in August, seeing Baba every day. Okay.
Okay.
William describes the joy he experienced when Baba sent him off to Rishikesh and Hardwar during the visit. You would have loved these famous Hindu pilgrimage centers at Rishikesh, where the Ganges comes sweeping out of the Himalayas. Hardwar, or God's door, is 15 miles below.
Okay.
Oh, this is not in the book, I think. Hmm.
Let me
Yeah,
just
this
move
is
this
the
here.
nice. Okay, you can show this photo.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay, yeah. This beautiful photo of Dr. William Donkin and his first love, his bike. William, shown in 1941, had
Wow.
a motorcycle for many of the years he stayed in India. He was meticulous in maintaining such machines, often stripping them down, cleaning all the parts, and putting them back together again. Yeah. And even to blue bus, he never treated it as a bus, but like a human being, he used to treat to the blue bus. It is
Uh,
mentioned, yeah.
he was a good
Yeah.
mechanic. Oh.
Yeah, he really all rounder.
Yeah.
11, 12 languages he was expert in, and
Wow.
a
Mhm.
mountaineer, and he was so courageous. And in spite of all this, he was a good doctor, and still he
Mm.
loved Baba so much. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are on page number 78. And there, either your pages have missed this part or we have missed that part, whatever. We'll cover that later. But right now we'll continue. Rishikesh, the Ganges passes through a small cut in a line of hills there. A fascinating place. That Baba was often thinking of William is reflected in a call. Yeah. One sec, huh? Before he would speak, he attends instruction. One sec, one sec. This is 78, no? Yeah. These are all 3, 4 paragraphs are not there in this. That Baba was often thinking of William is reflected in a call he received in October to meet his spiritual master at midnight between Bangalore and Madras. There is a footnote about Madras, important note, so I'll read it. Madras, now Chennai, capital of Tamil Nadu, on the southeast coastal plain, was originally a fishing village. It was selected as the first permanent British settlement in India and has some Victorian architectural influences. During World War II, it was attacked by German U-boats.
Oh. Mm.
When Baba was returning from Nagapattinam for his meeting with the Mast Chatti Baba, Adi Senior wrote to William about the meeting on October 16, 1942. Since you are writing to Baba, longing deeply to see him, Baba has decided to see you at Jolapet. This trip has been arranged expressly to see this very longing doctor, as he has put it. I met him at Jolapet station at midnight and was with him until 2 a.m. Baba made the deviation of his route, especially to meet me. How fortunate! So see how he was longing for Baba, and Baba specially traveled so much distance just for him. He also traveled some distance. There is a footnote about, again, something is missing here and there. One second. One that Baba was often thinking, okay, to see him, Jolarpet. Jolarpet, there is a footnote. Jolarpet is an important railway station in Tamil Nadu in southern India. It is a mostly flat area, but not far from the Yelagiri Hills, which are surrounded by orchards, rose gardens, and green valleys. Yeah. He said that we must die for God while others die for their country. Baba was in an excellent mood, and we strolled about the station in the moonlight together. Wow. Such occasional meetings with Baba are really very satisfying indeed. A sort of deep thirst as assuaged. William left Jolapet at 3 a.m. Again, okay, William's yarning and working. Okay, these paragraphs are not there. I'll read it. William
Okay.
left Jola at 3 a.m. and arrived back in Bangalore at 7 a.m., making the above diary entry the same day. Williams, now this is there, I think. Williams yarning. Yeah, again, here we are. Williams yarning to be permanently in Baba's presence is reflected in his October 11, 1942 letter to Adi Senior from St. Martha's Hospital about the possibility of seeing Baba again soon. If it were a real call which must be obeyed, I would come without permission and damn the consequences. Oh, what a courage, what a longing, what love and dedication, really. On working and living in Bangalore, William added, in this war, everyone is on jobs and in places they would prefer not to be. So even if I stay here, my heart at least is with Baba always. I long for the time of reunion with Baba and envy you fellows with him very much. The job with the Italian prisoner of wars at the Bangalore hospital ended in January 1943 when William was transferred to a new field ambulance job in Sikandarabad.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Before taking up this new job, our pages will little mismatch because of those 2-3 paragraphs, no? So we will be moving on 81. I'll just finish this paragraph on this page. Before taking up this new job, he was called to a one-day meeting in Meherabad involving 100 followers of Meher Baba. After returning from the meeting, William received several written orders which were not to be opened until February 1st, 1943, although the orders were to be carried out at the cost of life if necessary. William chose not to detail them in his diary. Wow, this is very important. Yeah, it is there. At Sikandarabad, William was much closer to Meherabad, but that didn't seem to counter his uneasiness over his medical duties. This field ambulance job, I am loathing it and writing grumbling letters to Baba every few days. He was not liking his job. When April came, William was told that he would be spending May 14 until June 15 in other parts of India with Baba and other members of the Mandali. Shirin, Baba's mother, passed away on February 25, 1943. Baba had traveled from Mahabaleshwar by car, arriving a half hour before his mother died. She had apparently suffered a stroke and was in Sassoon Hospital, Baba's birthplace, in Pune for a few days. She had gone home from the hospital and died a few days later. There is a beautiful photo of Shirin Mai. Yeah, you can even little more scroll up.
Yeah.
So this photo of Shirin Mai is with the garland.
Yeah.
We have never, very rarely we see Shirin Mai wearing garland. This photo is with the garland. It's a very rare photo. Meher Baba's mother Sheriar Irani died in Pune at age 65 on February 25, Baba's birthday, 1943, her son's birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
Pendu, one of the Mandali, was preparing a grave for her next to Nani Geli's grave on Meherabad Hill. Sorry, there is a footnote. Pendu Espandayar R. Irani, born in 1903, died in 1986, was Baba's maternal cousin and one of the earliest members of the Mandali. He was very steadfast in Baba's love, and he had engraved Baba's picture nicely. Tattoo nowadays they call that. It was a permanent tattoo of Baba's beautiful picture on his hand. So as a kids, when we used to go to Meherazad, we always used to insist, Pendu Kaka, show that picture. Pendu Kaka, show that picture. His permanent seat was in front of the blue bus with the chair and always so much smiling, beaming, always smiling face. Yeah. So, okay. At the end of February, William was moved from Sikandarabad to just beyond Rawalpindi. At this point, William seemed to realize that his medical duties would not take him outside of India, and he was pleased. There is a footnote. Wah is a city in Punjab near Rawalpindi, now part of Pakistan. Legend says that a Mughal emperor, possibly Akbar, after drinking from a spring there on a journey to Kashmir, exclaimed, "Wow!" which means translated as "Wow, wow, so nice, wow," giving the city its name. It's an exclamatory mark. Wow. But there must be some hidden work Baba might be getting through William. Mhm. Like a representative or something, some work Baba was getting through him. It seems. The thing is that I don't want to leave India because Baba is here and I want to come closer and closer to him. The next diary entry in April 1943 noted a brief meeting with Baba as William was traveling to Pune on army business. Baba assured him again he would be spending May 14 to June 15 with Baba through special leave from the medical service. Throughout the war years, William continued to manage to get days off here and there so he could make his way to Baba and the Mandali wherever they happened to be in India. Actually, it is so difficult to get leave in army, and that was specifically when war was going on. So his leaves must be an internal turning key by Baba. He got so many leaves. Okay, page number 83. Last weekend, I went up to Panchgani to spend a day with Baba. I was allowed to hobnob with Margaret, Kitty, and Rano for 20 minutes. These three Western women were to spend long periods with Meher Baba in India during the 30s and 40s. Margaret Cross would stay 7 years, Kitty Devi 15 years, and Rano Geli for the rest of her life. She died in 1986. Willem undoubtedly talked about the war with these women, but they also would catch up with news related to other Baba followers. They told me that Baba had said that Norina's present publicity lectures in the USA were not his way of working. Oh, but that it did help his work. William wrote in April. At this time, Norina Matchveli was giving high profile lectures in the US, claiming that Meher Baba was speaking directly through her or channeling his messages in what she called spiritual thought transmissions. Although Baba did not allow professing and often chose to travel incognito, he sometimes let his followers pursue their own directions in relaying his messages to the world. Norina, who had a strong theoretical background, chose for a period of time to relay his message in this flamboyant manner. During William's short, we have to be so careful, actually. During William's short Panchgani stay, Baba put a figure on the number of male monthly he considered close. He says that he is happy to have his 24 chief male disciples. They are jewels, he says, in spite of their obvious faults, William wrote. Although Baba's followers were expected to work hard on extinguishing their egos, a direct comment about William Donkin's surveys that Baba made at this time, recorded in Bhau Culture's Lord Meher series, might have proved difficult for William to forget. There is a footnote. His name was Virendra Singh. Veer Singh Kalchuri joined Baba in 1953. He was Baba's night watchman. On Baba's instruction, he wrote ghazals, poetry, and a biography of Baba in Hindi, Meherkrupa, and English, Lord Meher, and other works, and served for many years as chairman of the Avtar Meher Baba Trust.
I think at this point I need to leave. I don't know if your time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank
So
you so much,
sorry.
Vicky.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope Dinah is a host or co-host, and she will be continuing.
Yeah, I don't think she'll not going to be able to share though.
That's
I'm
fine.
host.
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
share. I have the
yeah,
book, but I can't
yeah.
share.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank
The place is 83, but you are host or co-host, no?
Host. I'm host.
you.
Ah, fine, good. So
Uh,
if you wish, or if you can,
Would you
you
like
can
would, would,
present.
would you like me to read?
Yeah, definitely.
okay.
That is
Jai
page number
Baba.
83.
But
The only thing is paragraph little changes. I'll just finish this line. Culture is Lord Mercedes might have proved it difficult. Okay. So you start from I am extremely happy. It
okay.
might be page number 84.
Yeah, I have. Okay. Do you want me to read the footnote about Bao?
Yeah, that is over.
Oh, finished. Oh, okay. I am extremely happy when I see men like Don William. What is what a spirit of self-sacrifice. Everyone so near and dear, his family, and while serving the government, dedicating all to me. What sacrifice and service could be greater? This is what makes me happy with my men Mandali. They are men, heroes, in the real sense of the word. The month-long furlough William was to receive in mid-May was in part to allow him to attend a major meeting of 120 of Baba's followers. The program was to last 4 or 5 days, during which a diagram or chart outlining evolution of the species and involution of the soul through the planes of consciousness was to be unveiled. Women Mandali member and artist Rano Gailey drew the chart under Baba's direction. Those assembled were asked to meditate on the chart for 3.5 hours, which for William was quite a chore. We all meditated from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on the chart, sitting about in places shown by Baba. I was in the main hall at Meherkrupa opposite the clock, and so could see how slowly the hours passed, says William in his diary. He said Baba wanted the group to experience and allow strange thoughts to come in, but he wanted us to fight them while meditating on the chart. Throughout his lifetime, Baba made only minor references to meditation, stating that physical contact with him and being in his presence were much more important. He did, however, cover the topic of specific levels of meditation in his published work Discourses. And since that's a footnote, maybe I'll read that right now.
Yeah, please.
Discourses is a book of Meher Baba's talks on a variety of mostly spiritual topics, as recorded by his disciples and close followers. It has been published in 7 editions, in 5 volumes, 3 volumes, and a single volume. On the day following the chart meditation experience, the Mandali were asked to bathe and feed the poor. Each one of the Mandali looked after one man whom they were to consider as Baba at the time. William gave his own interpretation of the 4-day meeting and chart meditation, stating that it was beyond the group to decipher Baba's spiritual intent. I rather feel that apart from Baba's spiritual working, about which we can know nothing, that the meeting was a chance for all to see a lot of Baba, and that the program was just a way of filling in time and keeping all happy. The thing that really matters is contact with Baba. During William's month with Baba, he and various other Mandali were going back and forth between Panchgani, Meherabad, and Pune. On some of these trips, William again found himself driving the old blue bus. On Wednesday in Panchgani, William drove Baba to the Hindu high school for boys there, and he relayed the scene at the school. He, Baba, really looked as fresh and simple as a child as he sat there. For all his 49 years, mischief monger as he is, nevertheless. An episode between Baba and William during this month-long leave typified Baba's persnickety approach and the frustration his followers sometimes experienced. A trunk of William's personal possessions was being kept in Baba's room at Meherkrupa while he was away in the army. During his leave, William took the trunk from Baba's room to rearrange his possessions. When Baba came and found it was gone, he was very fed up and gave me a dressing down accordingly. Later, Baba told William he had ordered the trunk kept in his room in William's absence as a link with me.
Wow.
I didn't, of course, know about this special order of Baba's that it should not be touched. William was ordered to fast, taking 2 meals a day only, and also to again meditate on the evolution chart that Rano had created. I didn't like the fast, too fond of eating to enjoy fasting, but the meditation business was not very arduous. Knowing William's ability to creatively adapt to myriad situations, the tongue-in-cheek comment may well have meant he spent some of his meditative time catching up on sleep. Baba appeared to want to interact with his mandali most naturally during this time. A certain amount of the day was spent discussing the war, but there were also sessions for more light-hearted pursuits, such as card playing, in which Baba took part. Shortly after William returned to his medical duties, Baba informed him that he wanted to meet him for a day between July 4th and 14th at Lahore in northern India. And the footnote for Lahore reads as follows. Lahore is a major city in the Punjab region, now in Pakistan, which has a rich Mughal heritage and many British colonial structures that combined Gothic, Victorian, and Mughal building styles. Even during the war years, Meher Baba and his followers did not ignore sudden national emergencies. In October 1943, Baba and a large number of disciples visited Calcutta during the terrible famine, when millions died of hunger. Baba fed about 1,000 people, organized the distribution of about 10,000 chapatis and Indian flatbread, and distributed 2,000 vests to children. And there's a footnote for famine, and I'd like to read that now. In 1943, famine in India claimed the lives of about 3.5 million people. It is considered to have been entirely man-made, as the British did not store any of the grain grown in the area, and they were exporting wheat from India and did no rationing of the rice that was available. A number of middle-class people who were invited to the feast could not ask for charitable relief because of their social position. When all were seated in the school building where the feast was given, some of the Orthodox Hindus were disconcerted at being served by a non-Hindu, Baba, whose identity was kept secret. However, the social workers of Calcutta, who had helped organize the gathering, explained to the guests that Baba and his disciples had come all the way from Bombay to serve them and that they should be grateful. Nearly all accepted his generosity and were even struck by the fact that the originator of the charity had himself come to serve them and supervise the work. When the feast was over, Baba personally gave each person clothes and money. Another 5 months passed before William again put pen to pages in his diary. In mid-November, he visited Baba in Lahore, having seen him only briefly in Rawalpindi in August and Lahore in June before that. There are no details on this meeting between the two. Baba and the other Mandali left Lahore on November 25, 1943, to return to Meherkrupa after spending almost 5 months in northern India. William continued his usual pattern of fulfilling his medical duties and went on leave, scurrying off to see Baba wherever he was in India. 5 months after William's Lahore visit, the two traveled toward each other to meet halfway at Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh. And the footnote for Jhansi reads, Jhansi is a city that grew up around the stone fort strategically built on a hill rising out of the plain. It is a major rail and road junction. We all had a meal, rice, dal, and 2 sorts of vegetables, then fruit and tea. We sat talking, Baba, of course, by signs, until about midnight, and then off to bed. After William complained to Baba the next morning about his medical duties in the army, Baba proposed that all this would be okay if he could locate 7 musts in Jhansi. William and the other Mandali were successful in finding 7 musts and were able to locate another 7 in a side trip to Gwalior. William relates an amusing incident which occurred on the train trip to Gwalior, which helped alleviate any tension or overtiredness the troop was feeling. And I'll read the footnote for Gwalior. Gwalior is a city and fortress in Madhya Pradesh. It is known for many palaces in the Hindu style of architecture, and the Jai Villas Palace patterned on the French Palace of Versailles. And now William is going to relate the amusing incident. While in the train, Chanji had been drying Baba's pajamas out of the train window. In the scramble to get out at Gwalior, Chanji lost these night clothes and discovered the loss at the hotel. Baba pretended to be annoyed, and Chanji was quite cut up about it, but I think Baba was rather amused. William saw Baba only briefly, an hour in Bombay in July, during the next 6-month period. At that time, Baba told William he would soon obtain more interesting work in the military. And I have. On September 6, 1944, I reached Secunderabad, being posted to permanent surgical duties, and am a trainee for grading in orthopedic surgery, and very happy too. At this time, William received word from Adi Sr. that Chanji, Baba's secretary and a longtime Mandali, had died in Baba's presence. Dear old Chanji, teased by Baba most of all, I have seen Baba throw things at Chanji when he was very obstinate, absent-minded, muddle-headed, teased by all of the Mandali. But he loved Baba and worked for him, traveled all over the world with him. Dear old Chanji, we loved him for all his shortcomings. On his next leave, William joined Baba in Meherkrupa. And now a footnote about Meherkrupa.
Aurangabad. Baba made me give a pretty full account of myself. Aurangabad it is.
Okay, I'll make.
Shall I take over? Shall I take over? Are you
Okay. Okay.
Jai Baba, thank you. Dina, dear Dina. You have wonderful voice. On this, his next leave, William joined Baba in Aurangabad. Baba made me give a pretty full account of myself. Aurangabad, the city in Maharashtra, is known for its many gates and historical monuments, including the Ajanta caves, Ellora caves. It is also home to Bibi Ka Maqbara, the mini Taj, a small building that is replica of the Taj Mahal, and also there is a place of the master who was the master of Sai Baba, Jajari Baksh. Yeah, and the place is now renamed. This Aurangabad is named as a Chhatrapati. काय नाव ठेवलं औरंगाबादचं छत्रपती some they have changed this Aurangabad Ahmednagar also they have changed and Aurangabad also they have changed anyway. Page number 88. Baba told William he was to write down a number of points related to the next 7 months. William's points in brief. First point, to remain at the hospital in Secunderabad until March 1, 1945. Second, to come see Baba for a day or two in January. Third, to spend a month with Baba in April 1945. Fourth, at the start of May, to go to work in another big hospital, possibly Pune, where I would be physically nearer to Baba and would do more surgery. Baba also told William to look after his health and stay out of the sun. In a conversation about the war, Baba said, although the Allies, the United States and England, were going to win the war, they might lose the peace because Russia would dominate peace negotiations. The Mandali, including William, accompanied Baba on a visit to the Ellora caves. Passing through Kuldabad, Baba said he liked the spiritual atmosphere there and mentioned that Sai Baba, one of his perfect masters, had stayed there for a long time. During this period, William was trying to learn the Persian language. Baba instructed him to spend a half hour studying each day. Baba mentioned Hafiz, one of his favorite Persian poets, and spelled out some couplets of Hafiz on his alphabet board. Wow, incredible. So much he loved Baba that he wanted to learn Persian also. He said if he was speaking now, he would teach me Persian very quickly. William said in his diary on October 29, 1944, in Secunderabad. William's day or two with Baba early in 1945 occurred in February rather than January. On this occasion, Baba reiterated his thoughts about Russia and the peace negotiations. There are 3 footnotes. Now I'll read one by one. Ellora caves are 34 rock-cut caves containing carved rock sculptures that were carved between the 5th and 10th centuries. The caves were carved in a hillside and used as temples for Buddhists and Jains. Second footnote, Kuldabad. Heavenly abode, the meaning is heavenly abode, meaning of Kuldabad, is a walled town considered the holy shrine of Deccan Muslims. Among the many historical figures buried there is Aurangzeb, the last major Mughal emperor. But the secret of Aurangzeb is he was killed in Ahmednagar. His head, this portion, is buried in Ahmednagar, and the next portion of his body is buried there in Kuldabad. Yeah. William's day or two, Hafiz is the most beloved Persian Sufi poet. He expressed the spiritual experiences of a mystic in the words of the lover for his beloved. Okay. He also brought up the search for an ideal site for a spiritual center in the United States and hinted that William might eventually work there. Baba had just approved a site in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It appears there's a beautiful picture of Elizabeth here. I'll just show from my book. so beautiful, no? She's so young, Elizabeth Patterson. And it appears Elizabeth Patterson's father, has left a lot of land and money, and a center is being planned there. It sounds interesting. In the same diary entry, William indicated that Baba was spoiling him on the brief 3-day visit. Baba told me, William says, Baba told me that I was the luckiest of all the Westerners, having seen so much of him during the past years, and that this was due to past connections with him. William also enjoyed a chat with Margaret Krask during the visit. On his departure, Baba asked William to find a suitable bungalow for the group in Sikandarabad or Hyderabad. Mandalin member Balnathu wrote in volume 8 of Glimpses of the God Man, a series written about Meher Baba, about the rigmarole involved in finding adequate accommodations for the party. There are two footnotes. First, Hyderabad is the twin city of Sikandrabad in Andhra in South India. Second, Balnathu, a school teacher from Kurduvadi, it is near Solapur, became a close follower of Meher Baba and would spend long periods of time with him in 1950s and 60s. He joined the Mandali in Merazhat in 1977 after his retirement. Baba wished to make Hyderabad his headquarters for contacting mosques in southern India. Dr. Donkin selected 2 or 3 bungalows and wrote to Baba about them. Baba sent Pendu with certain instructions to finalize this matter. Based on Baba's assessment criteria, William's choices for bungalows did not measure up. In an area called Jubilee Hills, a new villa was nearing completion with a well-kept garden and a small swimming pool with items that Baba had stipulated. Pendu made inquiries of the owner, who was a prominent lawyer in Hyderabad. Baba personally visited, liked the bungalow, and asked Pendu and Donkin to lease it. The bungalow saga had many logistical tentacles connected with it. The owner was so busy that William and Pendu could only see him late at night. They talked about the rain, and the lawyer instructed his clerk to draft a compliance agreement concerning the facilities in the villa and the advance money to be paid. Despite the late hour, when William and Pendu returned to their hotel, Baba wanted to know the full details of the agreement. Unfortunately, it was written in Urdu. Pendu was dispatched to find someone in the hotel who could translate the letter, and the only person available was an inebriated party goer. Pendu requested him to visit the room of his elder brother. Though drunk, the man seemed sober enough to read out to Baba the agreement drawn in Urdu. While listening, Baba gave certain instructions to Pendu regarding changes to be made in the draft. Thus, even a tipsy man was of timely help. So funny, so interesting, so important. This account is given to convey how particular Baba was in selecting his residences as he moved from place to place. Not to dwell on this particular bungalow search, but it is telling in that it shows that Baba used even seemingly simple course to wear down the egos of his followers to get them to the point where they couldn't care less what stress they created and what other people thought of them. A sidebar description of acquiring Jubilee Hills is given by David Fenster in his book Mehra Meher, Volume 2. Quote, the owner had wanted to complete construction on the house before renting it, but Baba was anxious and sent William and Rano to persuade him. Only the lampshades are left to do, the owner told them in a beseeching tone. conversation. We don't want them, they replied. But what about the locks? At least let me have the locks installed before you move in. The locks were put on. But when Baba and the woman Mandali moved in, they had to see with the harsh light of naked light bulbs rather than softer light that lampshades would have provided. The wash basins had no faucets, and work remained to be done on the windows. But there was a thick red Persian carpet in the hallway, and the house was partially furnished, though they had to supply their own beds. While it might appear to the reader that Baba was always looking for luxury accommodations, he was primarily thinking of the needs of his followers, particularly of Mehra and other women Mandali. Also, the accounts of the intense must haunting excursions conducted over the years indicated that Baba himself spent little idle time in the accommodations he chose. Many times, Baba used to select a room which is far in, backside, or like in the links, he was just staying in a small room in the corner. The luxurious part was given to women for their use. To visit Baba and the other Mandali, William often cycled 8 miles from the hospital in Sikandarabad to Hyderabad. He usually got there rather got hot and sweaty, a shower and a change, a shirt and cool off, and then go down to Baba's bungalow. My but on May 1st, William was ordered to fast and also to inform those in Ahmednagar and Meherabad to do the same. There are about 400 on the fast. So I have had as much food as I could stuff in before E7 this morning in preparation for the day's fast. For Donkin, fast was a difficult matter. Well, the larger group fasted for only one day. Meher Baba chose to fast for at least 11 days, longer if his strength held up, on glucose and lime juice. William monitored Baba's condition on his daily visits. At about this time, the ashram received word that one of Baba's women Mandali, Nadine Tolstoy, daughter-in-law of author Leo Tolstoy, had been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis,
Sclerosis. Yeah.
Lou Gehrig's disease, and was not expected to live more than a year or two. Oh, Baba continued to butter William up in front of the other Mandali, saying he was his best Western follower. Okay. Of course. Can we continue? Can we? Okay, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, whatever you feel. What would you like to do?
Okay, we will take 2-3 pages. If there's time, no meeting, then we can continue.
Okay, if you like.
Yeah, you can continue.
If you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, thank you. Of course, it's nice to be smarmed up, but I know that in such times, Baba doesn't praise one because of any genuine goodness on one's part. In fact, the better the disciple, the more he maligns and teases usually. William's astuteness is assessing Baba's methods was growing with time. He saw Baba's praise as a prelude to trouble, but he did admit that his spiritual master was usually diplomatic in slipping the stiletto in. I think to a certain extent he likes to magnify and draw out and nourish one's fault until one becomes aware of them and gets them off the chest instead of suppressing them. After all, what's bad in one's is best out. Mhm. Anyhow, with Baba, from whom one can't hide anything really, he always digs it out, even if one did not know it was there. Wow. William was predicting that Baba and the Manli would stay in Hyderabad another 2 months since the ladies liked the bungalow, and that usually has a big influence on Baba's moods. William's diary entry of May 14, 1945 mentions victory in Europe and indications that his Indian medical service duties would soon be winding down. When William describes the orgy of huh, drunkens, drunkenness that accompanied the victory night celebrations, Baba expressed disappointment at the behavior. He was a bit disgusted. He says to take a little liquor occasionally and be cheerful is good, but to drink mainly to get drunk is silly. William's next diary entry, as the war is ending, indicates he is seriously thinking about his relationship with Meher Baba and his life in India. My God. There's no doubt Baba makes a mess of one's life, one's whole life, that is. Though, of course, I met him at the beginning of it. Though it is a strain nevertheless, changing one's values and having the bees in the bonnet taken out. I often wonder if I am genuinely and intrinsically better in the eyes of God than before I met Baba. I feel I am somehow cleaner and freer inside. I'm sure something is happening bit by bit inside for the better. Wow. His questioning and uncertain mood continued in another diary entry at the time. Donkin says, I went up the other evening after a foul day in a rotten mood, fed up with work, myself, Baba, and everything. Baba at once began asking after my health and mood, and I told him my mood was so. As usual, he asked why, and in front of the others, I gave a few of the reasons. Baba then chose to read William's fate by opening a page of the work of the Persian poet Hafiz. Wow. Muslims seem to do this, and Baba often does it half in fun. I don't remember the couplet except that it fit my mood and was about the numbers of my enemies, with only you for a friend, and how I am restless day and night to be united to you. In Hafiz, you means God. See, this is about, I'll explain in short. There is a custom in few Hindus and Muslim also. The holy book or some book they take, and if they have some problem or some doubts or difficulties, randomly they will open the page and they get the answer. They say, I don't know if it is there also. So Muslims, acha, okay, that is over. Throughout Baba's life, he often told his followers that yearning to be with him both physically and in divine love was as important as, or even more important than being with him. Well, that was one of my reasons for the bad mood. Difficulties in work, enemies in self, and annoyance with Baba. All this fooling around. Why can't we be one with what he really is? I have known Baba now for 13 years. Anyhow, he bucked me up eventually. Baba left on a 10-day must tour at this time, and William did not go. At the time, Baba again reiterated his feelings about William to the other Mandali, as noted in Lord Meher, Volume 8. It says, Donkin's deep love for me, unshakable faith in me, and unparalleled service for me are beyond praise. This Baba is saying for Donkin. Don comes from a wealthy family. His faith and love for me are unique. He serves in the army for me alone, saves money for me, and always gives me help. Bob also indicated to William that he was fitting in nicely with his Eastern followers during a discussion about Baba's health, which had taken a turn for the worse because of the rigors of the must tours. William says, Baba told me the other day when we were discussing the steps to be taken about getting him fitter that I was like all his intimate Eastern disciples and not like his intimate Western disciples. That is, I believed him to be all powerful and that he can make himself fit as and when he pleases. And this is more or less true because as a patient, he is impossible. From the outset, Baba told his followers that the Eastern countries, particularly India, were more spiritual than Western nations. He said musk could be found only in the East, although he did have agents in the West. One agent meeting in the United States occurred in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in December 1934, and is described in Williams' book, The Wayfarers. In 1934, when Baba and a few of his disciples were on their way to California, the train stopped at Albuquerque. Um,
Albuquerque.
please repeat it.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Albuquerque. For a short time, thank you. Baba spelled out the word Indian on the palm of his hand and went with Runao, not Rano, Runao, away from these are two different ladies, from the station into a small street nearby. Sorry. At the street corner, they noticed two American Indians. One was sailing bows and arrows, and he walked away as soon as Baba approached. The other, a tall, impressive figure with a red band tied around his head, stayed where he was, and for a few moments, Baba and he stood facing one another, each looking intently into the other's eyes. Baba then abruptly walked back to the station. In addition to discussing spiritual matters, the gatherings at the Jubilee Hills bungalow in Hyderabad included ongoing talk about the global conflict that was coming to a close. Baba also spoke of India's push to independence and predicted that a Hindu-Muslim civil war was approaching. There seemed little let up in the onslaught of spiritual discipline. Even small, innocent events could lead to a rap on the knuckles. On one occasion, William had escorted Rano gaily to an optometrist, and on their way home, he bought some toffees for the Mandali. While Rano refused to take many toffees, she eventually gave in, knowing Margaret Krask was fond of them. When Baba later learned that Rano had given sweets to Margaret, he asked, "Why not me first?" Baba chastised William for giving sweets to the Mandali, telling him, "I want them as thin as air." William's own version of the event perhaps reflects that he was indeed becoming attuned to Baba's ways of working. William says, "I got a moderate ticking off for giving some toffees to Rana, and she was made to return them to me. But Baba teased me quite nicely, really." Actually, behind this, as we see another time, Rano tried to give the sandwiches first to Donkin during the Blue Bus tour. And Baba happened to come there, and Baba said, "You give some sandwiches to Donkin, he must be hungry." And she very happily, she thought, "Oh, I read Baba's thoughts." And she said, "Oh, Baba, I have already given." And then Baba was very angry and fired her, no one can give, only I can give. But the reason behind this, why Baba says, when Baba gives or someone is exchanging at the instructions or orders of Baba, the sanskaras are not exchanged. But if someone is doing on their own giving, taking, sanskaras are exchanged. And that might be the reason Baba was so strict about the relations amongst the members. Because his prime duty was to cut down their physical sanskaras and increase their spiritual sanskaras. A story related in How Culture's multi-volume Lord Meher series shows that humor was still an essential part of ashram life. During this period, Donkin was serving in the military hospital at Sikandarabad and would cycle over to the Mandalis or Baba's bungalow to be with them during their stay at Hyderabad. Baba had given two black bull terrier puppies to Donkin to look after, named Raja and Rani. Okay, black bull terrier puppies, and had told Donkin to bring them with him whenever he came. Margaret Cross came down with a case of dysentery, and Dr. Donkin began coming more often to check on her. He would carry the puppies in a basket on his bike, but on the ride, they always seemed to find some way to jump out. Donkin had to stop, get off his bike, and catch them, and his exertions proved amusing entertainment for passers-by. Meher Baba and various followers stayed in Hyderabad from March 10 to September 6, 1945. He contacted mosques all over Hyderabad state. Figures show that he contacted more mosques in Hyderabad city than any other city in India. The war was finally ending, which gave William the opportunity to accompany Baba and his band on a mosque tour late in July. The party of five took a train from Hyderabad to Madras on the coast. William saw the city as a horrible place with a horrible climate and a very dull, poor, and dispirited population. Despite the depressing description, must hunting in the area was successful. During the 2 days in Madras, Baba contacted 19 mosques, of which 5 were really good. One was naked. The second best one, called Punjabi, used to talk about with buttonless trousers, holding them up with his hands. However, the travels took a toll on Baba, who, walking with his followers from noon until 10 p.m. each day, developed sores on his feet from wearing his chappals, sandals. The group then traveled north. Last page we'll take today, then we'll stop on 96 number, where the chapter 6 will be ending. The group then traveled north back up to Raichur. The party's condition attracted the attention of a policeman who entered the names of everyone on the suspicious strangers roll, recalls William in his diary. William was quickly immersed in a street event at Raichur, where Baba washed and gave money to a group of 40 poor people. According to William's diary, Baba washed their feet and I dried them. Wow. Baidul and Eraj lifting water about. Afterwards, Baba gave 3 rupees to each one, mostly miserable beggars and many blind. Baba, it seems, saw the divine appeal in the mass he came across, no matter the circumstances in which they were found. Baba contacted one really good must, a great drunkard. We found him in a toddy shop, well pickled when we got there, a long beard and a charming face, always smiling. Baba was frightfully pleased at contacting him. The travelers later headed back to Hyderabad on the train. At this time, Baba gave a talk about meat eating and sanskaras impressions. After William's diary indicated the spiritual objection to meat eating, according to Baba, he said that the sanskaras of an animal hang on to the body for 3 days after his death, and that on the fourth day the animal takes on a new body. A human being takes on a new body on the fourth day or any time later, say even up to 400 years. When one eats fresh meat, one consumes animal sanskaras, which are a hindrance. Never want to leave a subject unexplored. William asked Baba whether frozen meat that had been dead for months posed the same sanskara problem. Interesting. Baba said that this was like eating dead germs to feed live germs. Germs means being sanskaras. There is a footnote. Raichur in the middle of Karnataka state and on the banks of the Tungabhadra river is known for its imposing fort, which has inscriptions in Arabic and Persian on its bastions and gateways. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, dear Dinah. Thank you, Betty, Sushma, Shirazi, Pratibha, Keshav Kubare sir, Mehra Ramdokar, Yasmin ji, Neelam ji, Avatar, Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Baba. केशव कुवारे सर जय बाबा आरती म्हणणार का कुवारे सर जय बाबा झोपले नाही ना usually we end the session with Baba's Aarti. So I'm thinking to give a chance. Keshav Kuware sir from Deuri is a place. They are all school teachers, professors. They have a beautiful Baba colony, Baba hall, and they are doing a lot of Baba work there. But I think maybe it's a time to go to sleep or
It's late there.
dinner. Yeah.
What time is it?
So Mehra or Neelam ji, जय बाबा आरती कौन बोल रहा है मेहरा रामढोकर की नीलम गोयल या यास्मीन जी
जय बाबा ताई
जय बाबा जय बाबा आरती करना जय बाबा अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय
हो
Actually, this is very late.
मेहर बाबा के जय आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ प्रेम दीप में ही जलाओ निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊं अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं तुम मुझको सरसाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती बनाओ। जीवन की हर सांस हमारी बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी। हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी। तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। बने आरती जीवन मेरा, बने आरती जीवन मेरा। आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा। खुले नयन और दिखे सबेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सबेरा। तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेरा प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। मेरा प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन। नमो ब्रह्माओ मेरा प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। मेरा प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। जय बाबा।
जय बाबा. खूप छान. थँक्यू. She
जय बाबा
sings
ताई.
Magasans also. सगळे मिळून बाबांचा जयकार करूया. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा
अवतार मेहर बाबा
की
की जय.
जय. Thank you, Baba. Thank you all. Thank you, Daina. Continuously 2-3 sessions you are doing great. Thank you, Jai Baba.